Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for today's lesson, which is Unit 4, Pairwork. From the name itself, Pairwork, which means that you will be working with your friend on a project that I will be giving to you later. But before we do that, let's open the workbook. Exercise A here. Match the words with the definitions. So open your workbook. Unit 4, the first exercise A, match these words with the definitions. So the first one is already done, of course. Commemorate is with I here, to celebrate the memory of someone or something. So we have a list of terms and a list of definitions, and we have to match them together. So we have number 1, drop. Number 2, marathon, middle, originated, pigeon, practice, procession, revived, and torch. On the other hand, the definitions, we have a circular award, a common bird that lives in cities, began or came from, do something over and over in order to perfect it, quit or stop doing, brought back to life, a 26-mile or 42-kilometer sporting event, usually running, a stick or handle with fire at the end. I here celebrate the memory of someone or something, which is already done with commemorate. J, a parade. So number 1, drop. As mentioned in the article, to drop a certain sport. So number 1, drop. Which one of these definitions match number 1? So it's E. To drop something is to quit or stop doing. To drop something, one of the meanings of to drop something is to quit or stop doing this thing. Marathon, when we say running a marathon, what does it mean here? Of course, it is, let's check the correct answer here. It's G. It's a 42-kilometer sporting event, usually running. So running a long distance, which is 42 kilometers. Number 3, middle. When you get first, second, or third place, you receive a medal. So what's a medal here? Let's see. It's a circular award. A circular award. It's maybe gold, silver, or bronze. Number 4, originated. What's the meaning of originated here? When something is originated from some place, so what does this mean? So let's see the answer here. It's C. It means began or came from. As we took previously when we say chess originated in India. So that means that chess, the board game chess, it came from India. It began in India. Pigeon. Of course, we all know pigeons. We see them every day flying. So, yes, that's correct. Pigeon is B, a common bird that lives in cities. A common bird that lives in cities. Number 6, practice. Practice. What does it mean to practice doing something? This is an easy one, of course. It's D, to do something over and over in order to perfect it. To do something over and over again. Do it 1, 2, 3 times. Why? To make it perfect. To perfect this thing that you are trying to achieve. Number 7, procession. Procession. It's J, a parade. Procession, it's a parade, a celebration. Number 8, revived. What does it mean to revive something? So I think this is an easy one, of course. It's the letter F, to bringing back to life or brought back to life. To revive something is to bring it back to life. Number 9, torch. I think there's only one left. It's the letter H. Torch, a stick or handle with fire at the end. As we saw in the earlier lesson, someone carrying the Olympic torch. This is a stick with a fire at the end. Exercise B, answer the questions. What's something that you practice? Do you know anyone who has run a marathon? How did the person get ready for it? What's something that originated from your country? So, of course, you can give your opinion. You can answer this by yourself. The first one here, what's something that you practice? Is there something that you're trying to be perfect at, that you are practicing all the time to do? Maybe you're practicing football every weekend. You're trying to be a football player. You're practicing something in order to be perfect or to perfect this thing. Do you know anyone who has run a marathon? Do you know anyone who has participated in a marathon? How did this person get ready for it? So if you know, how did this person get ready? How is he getting ready for the marathon? What's something that originated from your country? For example, I practice playing football and playing tennis. You can say I practice playing football and playing tennis. Maybe you practice playing video games. So there are many things to practice in order to be perfect at these events. Do you know anyone who has run a marathon? Maybe a friend to you, maybe a friend abroad, maybe. So my friend John ran a marathon. He trained for it for months. So you can say my friend John ran a marathon. How did he prepare for it? He trained for it. Of course, he's running every day for months, not just weeks, for months. He's been training. What's something that originated from your country, something that your country gave to the world? For example, I have written dates originated from my country. You can answer anything that you want here, that something originated from your country, whether it's Saudi Arabia or maybe any other country. What's one way to commemorate someone? What's one way to commemorate someone, to honor someone? Give me one way. Yes, for example here, a way to commemorate someone is to have a parade or a party for him, of course. Maybe have a parade or a party for him to honor him and so on. Have you ever dropped something because you didn't like it? What? Have you ever dropped something, you quit something because you didn't like it? What is it? Of course, you can answer this by yourself. Something that you have dropped. And what is it? For example, I dropped playing video games because I didn't have time for it anymore. I used to have time, but now I don't. So I dropped playing video games because I didn't have time for it anymore. Where have you seen pigeons? Pigeons, the birds that you usually see in cities. So I think here in the cities we see them everywhere. I've seen pigeons in the city square. I have seen pigeons in the city square. We also see them a lot. We all know that. We see them a lot in Mecca especially. So also this is our previous lesson, our previous article about the Olympics. So let's just listen to it again to refresh our memories about it. Let's listen to it again.
The ancient Olympic Games began in Greece in 776 BCE and were held every 4 years until 393 CE. It wasn't until about 1,500 years later, in the mid-1800s, that the Games were revived in Greece. But the Olympics didn't become the event we know today until 1896, when a French historian named Pierre de Coubertin had the idea of making the Games international, and founded the International Olympic Committee.
So I think we all who like the Olympic sports, the Olympics events, we have to thank this French historian Pierre de Coubertin. Why? Because he had the idea of making the games international. He makes it he made it what it is today. He made it international and also founded the International Olympic Committee. Why? That's the fun of the Olympics, that you see many different nations competing against each other in many different sports. That's what makes it interesting. So we have to thank him for this idea of his to make the Olympics an international event and even have a committee to make it well organized. So let's continue with the article.
Medals weren't always a part of the Olympics. Giving medals to winners is a practice that began in 1896, and between 1896 and 1904, the top prize was a silver medal. The youngest person that has ever competed in the Olympics was Demetrius Loundras, a 10-year-old gymnast on the 1896 Greek gymnastics team. Lighting the Olympic torch does not involve a match. It is lit using only the light of the sun and a special mirror. At various times, the Olympics have included such unusual events as a swimming obstacle race, a tug-of-war, and live pigeon shooting. The gold medal is not made of gold. It's actually 92.5% silver with a covering of 6 grams of gold.
So all of these actually are new facts that I didn't know about in the Olympics. For example, that the first prize was a silver medal instead of gold, as we all know today. And between 1896 and 1904, the top prize was silver medal, not gold. And the youngest athlete to participate in the Olympics was a 10-year-old gymnastic in 1896 in the Greek gymnastics team. Also, how do they light the Olympic torch? I thought that they used fire, but instead they used the sunlight reflected in a mirror. Also, that there were some sports that were dropped from the Olympic Games. For example, a swimming obstacle race, tug of war where two groups or two countries, each of them pull the rope until they win the game, and live pigeon shooting. And maybe the new information that shocked me, that it was that the first prize, the gold medal, wasn't made entirely of gold. It's all silver with just 6 grams of gold as a paint, or maybe it was coated with gold. So the first medal, even though it's we call it the gold medal, it's actually silver with just maybe painted gold. So let's continue with the article here.
The marathon is an event named after the run of a Greek soldier, Phidippides. In 490 BCE, Phidippides ran from Marathon to Athens, about 26 miles, or 42 kilometers, to deliver news about the Greeks' success in a battle. Running through the mountains and rocky land was extremely difficult. After Phidippides arrived in Athens and delivered his news, he fell down and died. The first modern Olympics in 1896 included a race of 26 miles, 42 kilometers, called a marathon, to commemorate Phidippides' run. Because the Greeks originated the Olympics, the Greek team always leads the procession of athletes during the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. They are followed by the other teams in alphabetical order. The hosting country goes last. Dropping sports from the Olympics is not uncommon. In fact, many popular sports have been dropped through the years, including rugby, golf, baseball, and softball. Adding a new event can only happen if another one is dropped.
So also, if you remember these paragraphs from our previous lessons, the first one is talking about the marathon. I was always wondering, why do they call it a marathon? The sport where they run for maybe 4 kilometers. Now I know it was because of this soldier, Phidippides, ran from Marathon to Athens. So Marathon is a name of maybe a village or a city. He ran from Marathon to Athens to deliver a message. Then he died. And the second one, that the Greeks, because the Greeks originated the Olympics, of course the Olympics is originated in Greeks. How did they honor them? That the Greek team always leads the procession of the athletes during the opening ceremony. If you see the opening ceremony, they always lead with the Greek team, and the host team comes last. And dropping sports, I didn't know that they can drop sports and add sports to the Olympic events. That's what makes it interesting. And also we took the language builder here. What's the meaning of BCE and CE? The abbreviations BCE and CE stands for before the Common Era and Common Era. So anytime you read BCE, it means before the Common Era, and CE means the Common Era. Many people consider BCE and CE more appropriate in today's more diverse world, where people of many religions live side by side. We also took the vocabulary practice with these definitions and the terms. Something that used to start a fire match, you know, the match to start a fire. A game in which two teams pull a rope, a tug of war. When two teams pull a rope, which this means tug of war. I wish they can bring this sport back to the Olympics because it seems exciting. A member of the military, a soldier. Of course, we know the meaning of soldier, a member of the military. Dropped means excluded or removed from a group. So these are some of the meanings of the words in the article. Also, we took the words meaning in the quick check exercise. To commemorate someone is to do something such as holding a ceremony in memory of someone or something. It means to honor him, to honor someone. To commemorate someone is to honor him, maybe holding a ceremony for him in his memory. Marathon, it's a foot race of a little over 42 kilometers in length, but now we know where the word marathon originated from. It's because the soldier Philippides, who ran from Marathon to Athens to deliver a message, originated, started, or began. When we say something originated in India, for example, when we say chess originated in India, it means that it began in India. Practice, something that is usually done, a custom. Procession, a parade or line of people moving together in a ceremony. So procession means a parade or a line of people moving together in a ceremony. Revived, to revive something is to bring it back alive. To revive, to bring something back or make people interested in it again. So this is the correct meaning of the word, to revive, to make people interested in this thing again. When they say it died, it doesn't mean actual death. It means that people now are not talking about it anymore. So when you revive it, it means that you make it interesting to people again. So these are today's objectives: to design an Olympic flag. To design an Olympic flag. Work with your partner to design a new Olympic flag. What will each color or symbol represent? Draw your flag and explain it to your classmates. Of course, this is the Olympic flag now. It's white with blue, yellow, black, green, and red colors, because these colors are in every flag that is participating in the event. Also, they are 5 because of the 5 continents. So try to come up with a new flag, a new idea, not other than the circles and colors. Try to figure out, some sort of logo, let's say, for the Olympics, and then show it to your friends. Maybe you can use these drawings here for some of the sports that you can see in the Olympics. Maybe tennis, maybe bicycle or weight lifting, football, archery, and so on. Maybe you can put some of these games in the new logo that you are going to design. Cultural note here, prehistoric games. The indigenous people of pre-Columbian North and South America enjoyed various kinds of games. A game similar to the modern game of lacrosse was played by several North American tribes. In Mesoamerica, people were making rubber balls as early as the 1600s BCE. The balls were used in ritual ball games in the temples. Anthropologists think some games played with the rubber balls were similar to handball. In several countries in South America, there are the remains of various kinds of courts and playing fields used for ball games. So maybe some of these sports ideas originated many years ago. They just developed within time. And here's a fun fact for you. The official length of a marathon is now 26 miles. 26 miles. It means 385 yards. The extra 385 yards were added when the race was held in London in 1908. They extended the course, so the finish line was in front of the box belonging to the royal family, giving them a better view of the end of the race. After that time, it was never changed back to the exact 26 miles. So this is the changes that happened to the marathon throughout the history. And with that, we reach the end of this lesson. See you next lesson, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.